Well, today I'm going to start working on these corners here, and trying to get them to be right. And what I mean by that, I got to make sure that everything is straight. They've got a little bit of a hump up here, and we have to make sure that like the distance is going to be right for our tailgate and all that stuff. So it's a matter of just getting these things placed, and then once that's done, the next step will be putting on some quarter panels, seeing how they fit, and we got the wheel tubs yet we have to put in. So lots of work, but you got to start somewhere. Get it into a corner, and then we're going to head that way. So today, I think that's going to fit pretty good. Yep, I think that's going to be good. All right, I'll get a vice grip here. Then we can take some measurements. Let's see if you can see that. So, if I put this straight edge on here, you can see that this is about 1/8 of an inch that way. So in order to get this straight, I'm going to have to cut all the way along here and move this out. Because hopefully that, I'm assuming that the quarter panel is going to be straight, but this is really, really crooked. So I am going to make a cut, and hey, if we have to move back in, well, we just weld it. But I think I'm going to have to make a cut here and move this out. It's pulling in this piece up top. Yeah, causing me issues. Cutter. Well, I want to get this sanded up here. I know we're working on the back corners, but I don't want to let this get too hard. Not too sure if you can see that, but man, I tell you what, we're out about, we're a little more than 1/8 of an inch there. So I'm going to have to bring it, zip it, bring it all the way back, just to get that panel to fit right. All right, can't cut her, you can't stay. Maybe what I'll do, I'll clamp this up so that everything's going to be nice and flat here. And a little bit down right in here. Alright, I'm going to get this all figured out here. Let's see where we're at. I'm not going to weld it all the way permanent. Just going to tack it, make sure it's all good. see what's going on. Looks alright. This side needs it from about here down. So just a little bit on this side, but it's still out quite a ways. Whoa. Good 3/16. No, 1/8 of an inch. Alright, need to find a screwdriver. These are kind of a pain to get in and on and off. Just back them over. So what I did, I put a screw down here just to kind of hold this spot in here. That's okay because we have to plug weld this anyway, so that's not a big deal. So now take the tailgate here and let's see what we got. Just gotta put her on the right way. Now I don't know what that is in there. Could be a tool or something. There's something rattling around. So what I'm doing here, I don't have a hinge, of course, on this other side. We'll shimmer up. Oh, I know what I want to do. Okay, I think I've got to lift that other hinge up just a hair. It needs to go right about there. Wow, if I do that, that's looking really good. All right, I'll take her off, I'll try it again. Just gonna bring this hinge up a little bit. Yeah. Some sort of a mystery object in there, but we'll figure it out. Kevin's department. I'm going to wedgie this up a little bit to get her even. That's pretty close right there. That one there is flat. Well, it took a little tweaking, but I got the gaps looking pretty good over this side. You know that there's a lot of time involved just trying to figure that stuff out. That gapping is tough when you're kind of building a vehicle. But that's only the first step. We got a long ways to go here yet, and there's some more issues. Okay, I'm working on the driver's side here, and I've got this clamped on, and you can see that we need to extend this lip on this piece here out. This doesn't fit very good. This is nice and rounded, and this has got more of a, so I'm gonna have to build this up and body work this so that it all fits, but that edge, you don't really want to body work that edge. There's about maybe 1/8 of an inch of filler that has to go there. So I'll do that with the welder, and then I'll body work it, just feather it back into this, just to make everything, you know, line up best you can. But that's just one issue we got to deal with. And then to come across into the pocket, I'm gonna have to build another piece that comes over and down and weld onto this chunk. But first, well, I think I'll probably weld that one on first, but take a look at this. I know it's hard to see in the camera, but this line right here is about 1/4 of an inch out on here. Now, if I measure this side from here all the way to the other end is actually 1/4 of an inch bigger than what it is on the other side. And maybe they did that on purpose because this is crooked. But if I bring a straight edge, you can see that this line goes like this on an angle. So I'm gonna have to cut here and make a wedge and bring that down. That's a lot of modifying. You know, you pay a lot of money for these panels, you know, they should at least line up a little bit better. Oh well, those are the things you gotta do. I could just leave it. That'd be shoddy. Now this line is a little better, so I moved it about 1/8 of an inch. It's going to work out quite a bit better. Still needs to be body worked and all that kind of stuff, and then you'd straighten it out just even a little tiny bit more. Don't know how this is going to line up down over here, but one step at a time. Just tacking this guy in, and we'll see how she all lines up, and I'm going to get it screwed in down at the bottom so that this is in its happy place, and then we can move forward that way. Once again, put the tailgate on. Been on and off quite a few times now. That could come up a bit. Got this gap over here looking not too bad. I think that's probably pretty close right there. Ah. Right up here, we're gonna have to take the grinder and grind that, bring it over a little bit. But for the most part, perfect, right up to about there. All right, kind of working on the left quarter, the top end of the quarter. And this piece here goes in there like this. Okay, and then that way then you can tack on at the front there where the doorpost goes down. So this needs to be welded into place. Well, we got to get it fitting first. There's a couple bumps here holding us back, I think, and then I got a little bit of rust right there, so this needs to be repaired. But we can do that. Then I think I'll weld up all these holes here, and I'll plug weld it from this side. Okay, got a plan. Got my little patch panel here, just a little guy. Set her up, took my crayon and made a mark. Just gonna cut that out, weld this little guy in there, and I'll weld these up. This doesn't look too bad. It's pretty straight. Maybe weld some of these up. Not sure how I'm going to do that yet, but okay, I'm going to weld it on from the other side. So I'm going to weld these up as well. So this little piece, what we'll do, now it's all nicely ground, we're going to, I'm just going to bolt it in, and then when I'm ready to put this in for good, I'll pull this out, paint it all, and then we can, you know, put her in for good. This goes like that. Alright, a couple things have to happen here. Let's just see. Get a different clamp. That's got to be up against there. That's got to be up against there. It actually fits pretty nice in there. So what I'm going to do is just drill a hole right here. It doesn't really matter because I'll just use that hole for the plug weld. Now I'm just going to tack this panel into place here where I think it needs to go. Needs to go right about there. pretty close. Might need a little tweaking later, but that's okay. So we got things fitting pretty good. You can see this has been dropped down about, 3/16 of an inch or so. And then it's pretty close. It's going to be very acceptable right there now. That's good. On this side, let's get over here. Just kind of refocus that for you. And see that up here I've got to bring this that way a little bit. The rest of it looks pretty darn good. So at the back, this piece has to get extended out because, you know, we gotta put this thing on there. So I built this little guy here, and he's just gonna go right over top, like that, and eventually get welded onto this. But let me show you how I did that. So here's my piece here. And I want to be about 1/2 inch. I made it a little bit bigger. Always make your piece bigger. You can always cut it down. Can't stretch it. Now you can do this in the vise. Not a big deal. Just bend it past 90. Then you take another chunk of metal. This one here is actually a little bit thicker. This is 18. This is actually 20 gauge here. Sticker in there, flatten it over. You get yourself a really nice bend there. Perfect. Okay, we want to be working on the other quarter panel, the upper part. So I'm going to fix this. This one here's got just a little bit of rust there. But you've seen how I fixed the other one. Much the same. Fill the holes up. And then I'll bolt this on to the quarter panel. Yeah, this panel here isn't fitting very good either. But I'm going to tack it here where I'm pretty close. See what happens. You can always grind it off. It's close, but it's not close. Does that make any sense? Yeah, so my plan, my thinking here is that I'm going to just tack it right here. And then I've got that perfectly flush. And then I'll work my way up. It looks like I'm gonna have to bend this down a little bit. I don't know. We'll just start at one point, see where it takes us. Yeah, you can see the gap right here. That's had to move over that way about 3/16 of an inch. That's a lot. All right, I'm gonna show you something here. All right, so this, I've got this all set up here, and this, I'm out about 1/4 of an inch right here. It doesn't line up. Well, let me show you. So this measurement from here to here, if I do that, 9 3/4. I know you can't see that, just gonna take my word for it. If I go down over here, it's 10. 1/4 of an inch difference. Might think that that's fine. But on the other side, the other panel, this measurement is 10, and this measurement is 9 3/4. How does that happen? How does somebody building a panel screw it up that bad? They got them flipped, so obviously they're using, you know, kind of the same die or something like that. They got the die flipped, or I don't know. And you know, you wonder why things don't line up. So now I've got to sleep on it tonight. So I may end up cutting this, bringing this out so that it fits here. That might just have to be another episode. I don't know. Till next time, thanks for watching.